So, good morning. Let's get this up here. Alright, just got back to the house after dropping off our daughter to school. What a beautiful day. So I got some update on my carnivore and on my fasting that I've been doing. So I just want to go over some of the benefits I've noticed while being on carnivore and also doing this new fasting protocol. Hi, my name's Dave. I like to take you guys on these walks with me in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon, just to chat, make the time go by a little quicker on these little walks. It helps motivate me, and hopefully I can motivate some of you guys out there. So I've been doing the carnivore diet for almost 6 months now, and I went from 242 pounds down to now I'm about 188. This morning I weighed myself. I just finished a 36-hour fast, so I have to weigh myself when I get back in after the walk, but I think it's about either 188, 187 in my shorts. Yeah, you don't want to see me in my shorts. I've noticed now, besides the let's go over some of the other things from carnivore. Besides the weight loss, and people will say, oh, you're just eating in a calorie deficit. I don't count calories. I don't do any of that. I don't really count macros, so I don't take any carbs in, or let's say that any carbs I might take in are so minimum, and that would be from there's a couple of carbs in the bone broth protein shake that I drink, and because it's got organic cocoa or chocolate, and it's got monk fruit. And I just read that, it's very minimum. Monk fruit doesn't have a lot. And then I don't put sugar. And I also I put organic half and half creamer in my coffee. And I also have been putting MTC oil, the coconut oil, in my coffee. So that some of the things that I've noticed besides the weight drop from my carnivore thing, back to the macros, I do try to count, but I'm not overly concerned with it as much right now because I'm in the weight loss thing. I need to reduce my visceral fat because of the plaque in my arteries that they found, and I need to strengthen up my muscles. I'm getting there. Now, I've found that some of the other benefits besides the weight loss is that my blood pressure is pretty much down to normal, except for on my high pain days. And your blood pressure tends to go up anyway because of the level of your pain that you're in. But even when I'm like today, right now, different parts of me I'm pretty steady at a 4, a 5. My shoulder blade and my tailbone are maybe at a 6, pushing a 7. But so my blood pressure would be a little bit elevated, but not that much over normal. So that's a benefit there. Now I have noticed, well, let's go with the thing. I've got another benefit I want to talk about too, and that is I was looking into different options of possibly going on TRT treatments, which is testosterone replacement treatments, because I thought I had really low testosterone, because as you get older, no, I'm not 80, I know I did a video where I said I look 80, and I talk about how, you know, I look 80. I'm 58. I'll soon be 59 in June. So we're counting down the times. And I jest when I say that, but, you know, this beer doesn't help. But it is pretty flowing, isn't it? I can be that Viking influencer that my dream is to. Anyway, sorry about that little squirrel moment. Anyway, so I was looking at doing that, so I got my testosterone measured. Now, when you do things through the VA, a lot of times they need a cause or a reason to do it, which is understandable. So they measured my T, but they didn't measure the free T. That's what mixes around in your body and stuff. And they didn't measure my estrogen, you know, that level that makes you emotional. So they just measured the T, and I was like, oh, I should have been more specific. I requested that. When I did that last month, it was at 494, I believe, or 499, something around that, which is about the mid-range between that 250 to 1,000. Okay, it's on the lower end, but it's not. They said, you're in the mid-range, you're good. Well, I know I'm not good because I know about my the way I'm feeling. The way my body is. So I was looking at TRT therapy to see if I can get that up higher because of all the benefits. Now, there are risks involved. So that's why I am learning that you have to do your research. Oh, besides the other things that you have to do is you need to, if you're enjoying this content, hit that like button. You know, come on. Leave a comment. I thank you for your comments. And subscribe. See, there we go. I mixed it in within the 7-minute mark. So I'm doing the research, and you have to do your research. Don't listen to these gurus online, and definitely don't listen to me, because like I said, I'm just a guy on the thing. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fitness guru, and I'm not a clinician or a researcher. So I'm doing my research. And, you know, the free tea has a big thing to pull in. Now, in my research, I checked out a couple of companies that are doing it. And I got new lab work. That was pretty in-depth lab work. They're checking everything, almost. So now I got the lab work back. And within that month, my testosterone level has gone up. It's at 598, I believe, 598. So my free T is at 7.4, and my estrogen was, I think, a little high, but I'm not sure. I have to look that back up. Was at about 24.5. And I still, you know, I can cry in a movie, at a sad movie, like nobody's business. Anyway, I even cried during a commercial once. All right, I might need some help with that. My estrogen levels might be too high. All right, so now what is causing in 1 month a jump of 100, a spike of 100 in my T? Well, I attribute it to carnivore diet. I don't have any evidence to back this up. This is my opinion, okay? And I attribute it to my walking and the little bit of exercising that I'm doing. I am able to do about 10 to 15 push-ups, and I do those 3 times with 3-minute breaks. I'll start off, one time I got up to 20, but I've been averaging about at least 15. Then it's like 11 or 10 and 8, and the 3 sets I do with a 3-minute break. I'm not able to do a complete pull-up of my own weight, so I do assisted pull-ups. Now I can do 10 assisted pull-ups at a 98-pound assist. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it does make sense, hit that like button. Okay. Trying to practice working them in as I chat with you all, because a lot of people they forget to hit that like button, and they forget to subscribe and comment. They they're so enthralled with my wonderful speaking. Yeah, okay, I'm working on that though. So with the carnivore diet and the walking, if that's raised in 1 month my testosterone levels up 100 points, then I've got to see, as I've now increased my exercising that I've been doing, because I definitely need to build up this. I'm looking skinny now, but I got to get rid of these man boobs and stuff, so I got to firm up my chest, and also the fasting will help eat up that fat there. So it makes you wonder, do I need TRT now? Is it just that I've got too much visceral fat in my abdominals? Now, I've been watching a interesting doctor, Dr. Omana, I believe, Sean Omana. He talks about the visceral fat, and you can get an MRI, abdominal MRI, and sometimes you have to pay for it out of pocket. So I'm looking at how I can do that. In my area, it's about between $250 and $350 to get an abdominal MRI, and then you just have to Google the code for it to tell the people at the MRI center what you're trying to do. And I think it begins with a 7, but anyway. So I need to save up and do that. Now, we're doing okay, but I have a very strict budget, an allocation where all our money goes. And the extra money that my wife is bringing in, that goes for also different things. So I just have to increase our abundance thinking and look at ways to, allocate the funds for it so that we can get it done. Now, at the same time, I also have to, Mother's Day is coming up, so I've got some nice surprises for my wife, and I got to make sure our daughter is planning to give her mom something. She's pretty good at that, though. Now she's gotten that. She understands. She needs to plan for that. But anyway, back to the benefits of carnivore and walking, and also intermediate fasting. I've gone 4 weeks on this new protocol where I was doing 36 hours, 24 hours, and then 16 hours. So kind of like a toned down version. So from Sunday night, usually around 6 or 7, I won't eat anything else. And then I won't eat again until Tuesday morning. Now, and then the next day, I go from Tuesday around, let's say around noon to 4 o'clock, depending on when I eat. And if I'm doing OMAD, 1 meal a day, or if I'm doing 2 a day, I will then not eat until the same time the next day. So from Tuesday, say if I stop, my last meal is at say 4, I will not eat until 4 on Wednesday. All right, does that make sense? I hope so. That's my protocol for that. And then the next day, Wednesday, until Wednesday, maybe around between 10 and 12, I will have my next meal. So it's usually between 16 hours and 18 hours that I'm fasting for through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? That's been my protocol for the past, 3 weeks. This week was a little bit different. I kind of, for some reason, from Sunday through I didn't make it to Tuesday, so from Sunday through Monday, at 6 o'clock, I ate. I did a 24-hour fast. I was just bored. So, and I said, you know, I miss eating. Now, I always look at eating, and I still kind of do, eating as a chore. But I really love the carnivore diet. I love eating a steak, and even the beef patties, or, you know, eggs with butter, a steak with butter, the patties with butter. I really enjoy that. And I eat the steak medium rare. I want it to be pretty much raw on the inside. And sometimes if I'm not paying attention, it'll be medium, just medium, so it's pink. But it's still okay. I love eating that. So I kind of flipped. I was mad at myself, but I kind of flipped the protocols. So I did a 24-hour fast, and it still had a good effect. And then I switched it. I said, well, instead of doing another 24-hour protocol, let me make it up, and I'll do a 36-hour. And that's what I did. So my 36-hour mark was this morning at 7, and I broke my fast by having my coffee with the creamer. Now, normally when I'm fasting, I'll just have the coffee black. But this morning I put in the organic half and half creamer. So like I said, my carbs are really minimal. They're maybe, I want to say, less than 25 grams of carbs, even less than that, because each serving of the half and half cream is only 1 gram of carbs. So like I said, I don't really count those. I know I put maybe 2 servings in, so that's what, 2. Let's say if I go over, and 3, you know. The protein shake that I drink, sometimes I'll put a half of a scoop in my coffee, because I like a mocha coffee. Now it has monk fruit and it has the organic chocolate in there, so that's about 1 gram per serving. I do a half a serving. So again, like I said, I'm under 25 on the carbs and the sugar. So and the monk fruit is more of a natural one, so it's not really throwing my body. I'm still pretty much fat adapted and stuff. So I have to say that with this carnivore diet, and I'm going to wrap it up here, it's just been amazing. I feel more energetic, even though there are still things, that's why that I'm having trouble with, and that's my bandwidth is limited. Right now I'm putting so much energy on getting back in shape and reducing my visceral fat. So I had to go back with that guy, Dr. Omana. I hope I'm saying his name right. He talks about the scanning with the visceral fat, and then I'll wrap it up with this. And thank you for your patience. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Your comments have been awesome. So he has you do that scan, the MRI scan, to look at your visceral. It's like a horizontal. You're looking from above down. So you do that scan, and all that visceral fat will show up white. So in the abdominal scan, you can see how much visceral fat you have. And then you can also see your muscles and organs. They show up as dark. So you can see, how much muscles you have from your abs, from your the bottom part of your legs, or top part, I should say, and your glutes. So you can see how that is, but most of the time they're very small compared to all the visceral fat that's in there. And that has been found to be a leading cause of so much things. It causes all these LDLs, small particles of LDLs, and that's what seeps through your arteries and from the research I've done, and that's what causes the plaque. Not the big LDLs or fluffy LDLs. So, all right, remember, I'm not a doctor and stuff, so this information is just from research I've gathered on my own stuff. I'm a study of one. It's just me that I've done this. This is my example. So do your research. Again, I have to keep saying that. So when you're looking at the visceral fat and thing, that causes all these other problems. It's been linked to all these heart events, and I like how in the research I've been looking, they call them heart events. So, and by that it means like either a heart attack or a stroke, because of the plaque burst and then the clogging. Now, the other thing with TRT therapy is that a lot of times it builds up the iron in your blood, and you have to go out and basically do bloodletting. It sounds almost like Victorian when they would put leeches on you to get rid of the bad blood. But that's when you have too much iron in your blood, and it oxidizes in the cells and kind of messes up your microchondria. I hope I'm saying that right. But with this, by doing these different exercises, now I'm still walking with my cane, and because of the fused foot, I can't do what he recommends, is doing these fast, full out 30-40 second sprints, and just full out, and that burns up your visceral fat and increases your muscles in your abs and your legs, of course. Now I can't do that, but I'm finding a workaround, and I've been doing a little bit of the elliptical machines, but I haven't been doing the sprinting on them. Because any pressure I put down on my heel, like a lot of pressure and stuff, it just increases the pain, because I got 2 bolts up there. So I need to find a different way. Now, one guy suggested that I do like sprinting in the pool up to my waist, and I just go full out in that because that's lighter on my feet. I think that's a great idea. I haven't tried it yet, but I did join the gym where my daughter goes swimming. So when she goes swimming, I do my walk, and then I also then go into the gym, and that's where I'm doing my pull-ups and stuff, and I'm trying the ellipticals. So I'm just working on getting that down. But I notice this is rambling on here. So that's what I basically just wanted to chat about today. Thank you for your patience. If you made it this far to the end, wow, you guys are rock stars. But yeah, so there I am. That's the update on how my progress is going. I think it's going well. So you guys hopefully will get some motivation from this. You guys have a blessed day. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.